Hello everybody, this is Madhu, leading sales and marketing for EthAum Venture Partners. You know, writing the script for today's showcase event was extremely difficult because I wanted to make sure that I'm not repeating the same stuff. Like we are a deep tech revenue accelerator based in Singapore, 80 plus portfolio startups and big name partners. I definitely didn't want to brag about our zero-based revenue accelerator program which focuses on customer acquisition and GTM. See, I didn't want to bore you with the small details like our startups got oversubscribed funding rounds, fortunate 500 customers turning into investors, backing from Y Combinator, Brink and others. Anyway, these were the things that I didn't want to talk about. Clearly. Now, let's talk about the things that I want to share. Today, you are going to see 10 startups presenting for 4 minutes each with 2 minutes of Q&A. They can't boil the ocean in such a short time frame. You will either go, May, or oh my god, I love this startup. If you feel May, then just don't do anything. Just sit back and wait for the next pitch. If you feel, oh my god, I love this startup, then let's plan a separate deep dive with the startup and explore ways to make them a rocket ship. Before finishing, I want to thank our jury who is going to score startup with respect to product market fit, team, differentiation, and investability. And a very special thanks to our venture partners who are the senior executives from the giants such as Cisco, GFK, Keyri, Google, Microsoft, SMRT, CIMB, and others. I hope you enjoy today's event and connect with the startups to explore the synergies. Now, I'll request Pankaj to take the event forward while keeping it entertaining. Thank you.
Thanks to Madhu for this warm and fun introduction. My script is not as funny as Madhu's, but I'll try to do my best. Today, we are extremely fortunate to have a very special keynote guest speaker, Mr. Sanjay Koul, who is the president of Cisco Asia Pacific and Japan. As we all know, Cisco has a very long history of supporting innovative startups, acquiring them and taking them to a global scale. And that's why Sanjay is the best person to talk about what are the best practices to go to take startups to the global scale. Sanjay, please feel free to unmute yourself and say some fantastic words.
Thank you, Pankaj. Thank you, everyone. I have no idea who's listening in, but I assume most of the people that are listening in are thriving entrepreneurs and startup companies. Look, I wanted to. I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm a professional who's been working for a number of multinationals over the last 30 years, predominantly in the service provider space. And right now I lead Cisco's business in the region. When I say service provider, it means all sorts of service providers, telcos, ISPs, web scalers, media players, entertainment companies, and so on. And Cisco, we believe we are a startup. We are a $50 billion startup. And that's how the culture and the organization runs and thrives. And we have been, in our history of roughly 35 years, we have been a massive acquisition machine. And that's our growth strategy. And it's driven through innovation to a large extent, but through acquisition as well, right? And if I can kind of unravel that a little bit. So basically, the company runs a yearly strategy program where we look to 10 years ahead in the business. And key is that we are driving the market transitions. We are constantly identifying market accelerators and new innovations in the market. And we use various methodologies to attract people with innovative ideas, to partner with them, in some cases acquire them, and then integrate them into Cisco and scale them up. And depending on the size of the innovation and the idea, I think it takes different shapes and forms. But fundamentally, we believe that organizations like yours are more agile, can think out of the box, can think faster, and can innovate. And we want to be making sure we give you a platform to, as well, for you to try, but gives us ability that we are not missing any key market transitions. So just to give you a sense of, in last 35 years, what has been our activity from an acquisition perspective. We have till date acquired 218 companies. So that's roughly $71 billion we have spent in acquiring innovative companies like yours. And I think if you look at our portfolio, starting from routing, switching, data center, applications, security, we believe we have today a pretty broad capability of serving ICT industry, serving fundamentally any need of IT industry across verticals. And last 5 years, since Chuck Robbins took over as the company's CEO, we've been focusing a lot on software and deep tech expertise. And I think if I can name a few that will give you an idea of the type of companies we have acquired in last 2.5 years. Socio, Kenna, Absogen, Reflex. We bought a number of SD-WAN companies. That was a few years ago. Jasper Wireless, Mainstream, Minefield, Perpiska, Observable, a number of Synata, BroadSoft, Acano, and so on and so forth. So I think that's predominantly the focus right now for the company. We're looking at ideas that are in the space of deep tech and software, and as well companies with as a service capabilities. So that's a little bit who we are, how we see our growth, and how do we connect with you all. I think there are various ways. I think there's a numerous amount of initiatives we run across the globe. I mean, in India, we have had a startup accelerator running for a number of years. At an APJC level, we have a number of initiatives. Right now, at a global level, we are looking at specifically at the sustainability side, right? Anyone with great ideas around sustainability is pretty appealing for us. And the path is simple. We look at your idea, if it fits in where we are headed as a company, we engage you, we can bring you as a partner, we can bring you as a concept we call solution partner, where your product is put on our product portfolio and it's available for our sales force and our partners around the globe to sell, right? So that's a step very close to becoming a part of Cisco. And then the last is either part acquisition or a full acquisition. I think that's the process. So I have been personally working with a number of these initiatives. One of the initiatives that I worked in was Ida Guild, which was looking at startups. I mean, every year we bought in about 200 startups, and we put them through a process where at the end of the day, we chose 5, and obviously through funding, we bought them and accelerated them. And I think that's the key. I mean, as a startup, you have to be thinking about solving a problem. You have to be thinking about, either bringing a new IP or a new capability or connecting dots, which is either through an alternative business model or pivoting the business model from, let's say, BAU hardware, software sale to as a service and so on, right? So I think that's predominantly that has been the process, right? But fundamentally, I believe startups are very, very critical for the development of economies, for the development of industry, and entrepreneurs. You all assume or sort of entrepreneurs have a very, very important role in growing the economy, looking at the market transition and enabling those market transitions. And I mean, in terms of why do you start? What are the ideas? I think obviously the difference between a successful startup and not so successful startup is that your success will be driven through what I call volume and value. Volume meaning how many people you're impacting, how many businesses you're impacting, and what kind of value you can generate, right? And in my view, with ideas, it's the people that matter. Who is behind the startup? How passionate is that gentleman or that team? Because all of that counts when you are approaching your funding partners or your possible companies that you want to go market with. It's very, very important to bring that compassion to life. And then the last one is the innovation itself. And I think innovation, an idea we've seen in my over the last 10 years of experience dealing with startups in some shape or form. I've seen great ideas with decent funding not going anywhere. And I think from my experience, I think it's fundamentally the team and the culture this startup has created in the company. And I think it's as well how innovative the idea is, but how agile and risk takers you are, because I think that determines the resilience of the company, and that determines the passion for the idea, and that as well, in many cases, determines whether you are a success or failure. So, is there a question?
No, please go ahead.
Yeah. So the key factors. I was last year we did an internal study to look at because we deal with lots of new innovators, entrepreneurs in the search for what suits us and what could eventually become part of Cisco organization. And there were fundamentally 5 factors that mattered really. The first one is, of course, the idea. Is your idea a problem solver? Are you adding? Are you creating a new revenue stream? Are you fundamentally changing something? So that idea was the main factor. I will give you values, what each factor mattered in the end. The second one was the very important factor was the lead entrepreneur and the team that was executing on and pulling this company forward. Third factor was the business model they chose. I can tell you my personal experience from my previous company. I worked for Ericsson for a number of years and led a business unit there. And these are old days, we used to have an idea which was probably better than what Facebook is today. But we were charging licenses. It was called Live Store. I don't know any of you have heard it. It was called Live Store. Really, really cool idea, very similar to Facebook, maybe a little bit richer than what Facebook offers. But the business model we were charging licenses to service providers. And obviously, by the time I came into that role, and we were still burning R&D money on that, and I saw that Facebook was already growing leaps and bounds, and so we had to kill it because of the lack of right business model chosen when we launched that idea, right? So fourth factor becomes funding. I can tell you, as many of you are there seeking the right financial partner, right funding partner, there's a lot of investors, holding large sums of cash, waiting to invest. But it is, which is the last factor, really very, very important, is the timing of the idea as well, right? So if we just give you a bit of a ratio, what came into that report, so timing had a weightage of 42%. Funding was somewhere at 32, 33%. Business model played a role. It weighted about 27%. And the team and the execution team, was about 23%. And funding was only 13%. So that tells you, funding was not everything for these people to become successful. It was other parameters that weighted highly. So something for you guys to sort of keep in mind. And three fundamental processes, or as you're building your startup into a company that will thrive in future. I think it starts with truly having a solid plan and a strategy, right? And with that, the team, the originators or the entrepreneurs that are starting, it has to show in their passion. You might not explain every bit of your plan, but your passion talks. And before you go expose yourselves, please ensure that you have tested the concept as much as possible. You have seen its viability. You've seen that it can truly solve a problem, right? So that's kind of one piece of the puzzle. The second one is creating, connect, which is ensuring you're surrounding yourself with the right people, choosing the right team, choosing probably a right board or an advisory board, because these people obviously have seen what you're trying to achieve multiple times and could bring in right advice to you. And I think that plays a role. The key factors. And then the last thought, which is really about, do nots. All I have said so far is do's, and do nots is, I think you got to have a life as well. I've seen a lot of people I have been personally advising kind of burning themselves in the process. So while you are creating this fantastic business, you got to ensure that you're creating a balance, because that will give you more bandwidth, and that give you more sustainability to sort of take it to the next level. So that was it. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Sanjay. Really, really appreciate it. I know these words are extremely kind, very motivating, and they give a lot of right kind of guidance to the startups for their growth. Now, I would love to move on to the jury introduction, because we have a fantastic jury that I would love to introduce. Can we start with Vipin, please? Vipin, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, hi. I'm Vipin Agrawal from CIMB. Some echo, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so I was with the Citibank before, having worked in 5 different countries: India, Singapore, Taiwan, Malaysia, Philippines. My experience on the balance, managing P&L, over 25 billion, digital banking. And recently I've been for a year in ESG sustainability space, which Sanjay talked about. So I'm looking forward to a learning and interesting session. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Vipin. I would request every jury to introduce themselves for 15 seconds only. Apologies for that, such a short intro. Jens, please go ahead.
Hi, Jens here. I came to Hong Kong in 1998 with a dot-com boom, stayed on for the tech, and I now run Startup Grind in Hong Kong.
Thanks a lot, Jens. Luca?
Hello everyone, Luca De Stefanis, Head of Marketing in Asia Pacific for Kindred. Been in Asia Pacific for 10 years now.
Fantastic, thanks a lot. Gary Messel? Hi there. We'll move on to Sophia. Sophia, please introduce yourself quickly.
Good morning, everyone. From London, my name is Sophia Schluger. I'm Managing Director for Amber Group for Europe. I focus on institutional sales and business development, and Amber Group is a leading digital asset finance gateway. We also have a venture capital principal investment arm, so we're very busy and integrated in investments in DeFi, crypto, Web3, et cetera. Happy to be here. Thank you.
Anchal?
Hi, everyone. Anjali from Singapore. I'm running the enterprise sales team for Cloudflare, been in consulting and enterprise sales for past 15 years.
Thanks a lot, Anchal. Next is Raymond.
Hi, I'm Raymond. I was EVP in Siemens until December last year. Took over now an ESG consulting, data consulting company, creating macroeconomic views based on data we collect. Thank you.
Okay. And last, Vivek Chabra.
Hi, everyone. My name is Vivek. I'm a F&B guy, Heineken beer, Tiger beer, Chang beer, and a few others. 30 years in F&B. So whenever you guys up for a beer, do give me a shout.
We'll start with Arqgen, which is a Brazilian startup using AI and ML to automate the architectural planning and decision-making process. And here we go.
Hello, we are Archigen, a generative design solution with architectural layouts made in seconds for faster and better decision-making. Looking at the retail sector, we keep on listening the same three problems over and over again. Firstly, keeping branding consistency in all their branches is a huge problem for the retailers. Also, for a single architectural solution, it can take weeks or even months to be delivered. Finally, the large number of stores redesigns requires a lot of effort in coordinating the work of several architectural offices. So, does it still make sense to design architectural spaces manually as we've been doing the past 500 years? Nowadays, we see AI solving the most complex problems. For example, one of the most powerful chips in the world was designed by an AI. So why not an architectural layout as well? That's precisely what Archigen offers, a generative design software powered by an AI that can create layouts in seconds, not weeks. It provides a data-driven approach in deciding for the best project, and it also integrates with well-established construction softwares like AutoCAD, Revit, ArchiCAD, and Rhinoceros. Our business model is divided in two stages, a setup fee and after that, a monthly support. The market opportunity is very interesting because every company in need of a physical space redesign can be a potential customer. And yet, as a go-to-market strategy, we will be focusing the retail sector for now, because they are the ones that most relate to the problem. As we lower our setup time, Archigen can attack new sectors, growing our sum. Archigen started in the second semester of 2020 with a revenue of 76K. And since then, we have more than double our annual revenue in every year. For example, in the second semester of this year, with the deals we have already closed, Archigen will have the same revenue of the entire 2021. And the only reason we can achieve this much is because of our team. It's a mixture of architects, construction engineers, and software engineers. Thank you for your time.
Okay, that was Arqgen. Do we have any questions for Arqgen founders? Please feel free to unmute yourself and ask questions.
I have a question.
Please go ahead.
Actually, the AI generating out of an AI the environment for offices or for like you creating a floor plan, the right understanding. Does that work on 2D or is that a 3D floor plan? I didn't really get the point what exactly AI does by the end of the day.
Thomas?
It can do both. It can work with a 2D layout in AutoCAD or a complete model in a 3D in a BIM model as well.
So just from my understanding, maybe I just missed something. What exactly does the AI do?
It solves the spatial organization of a given space. It could be either an interior layout or even a site plan as well.
But what parameters are required? Because if it's an office space, how do you know actually how the laws, the countries, how much space to actually need? Every country has different requirements regarding office spaces. So how do you actually define these parameters to create that individual space? I mean, there must be like a lot of parameters you have to put in the system, right?
Yeah, sure. That's why our setup time for the moment it's quite high, because we translate the architectural vision of our clients into parameters that we can train our AI with. So specific circulation constraints or proximity constraints, everything is understood with our client, and then we translate and train our AI model with that.
So I have one last question on that.
Sorry.
May I have one last question?
Please go ahead.
Sure.
How far are you away, actually? How do you see the potential to create actually out of a floor plan, just a 2D floor plan, a 3D model with an AI? Do you see the potential there for your company?
We are already doing that. It's not in the presentation, but maybe at some moment I could show you like.
Contact me somehow. I'd like to take that with you.
Yeah, but let's have a separate discussion on that, and probably if you have more questions, we can take them in the chat section. Next is CloudWorx, which offers a no-code platform for creating enterprise metaverse applications. Again, please keep using chat section. Please keep doing the poll for the startup, and please keep using the scoring sheet for the startups. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Yuvraj, founder and CEO of CloudWorx. We build a platform that helps businesses and enterprises such as buildings, factories, manufacturing plants achieve business insights 10x faster and reduce their time to market by 80%. We call it CloudWorx Studio, a no-code platform for building enterprise metaverse applications. Now, to understand the enterprise metaverse, let's take a look in the day of life of a factory manager. Going through so many dashboards and reporting systems in a day just to understand on what is going on in the factory without being there. But to make sense of those dashboards, there's a strong dependency on an IT team, which could take days or even weeks in the worst cases. At times, making you feel you wish you had better control on what's going on so that you didn't have to depend on anyone. This is where we step in. Now, imagine a day in the life of a factory manager using CloudWorx Studio. There's a central dashboard and one main screen, which is showing the digital twin of the factory. Instead of going through a lot of charts and graphs, 3D heat maps help make sense of the data in 3D. In one look, it's easy to understand that the right side of the building is consuming more energy than the left side of the building. To understand even deeper, take a look at the individual machines that are responsible for the consumption and turn them off individually in 3D. Create dynamic reports that can be shared with stakeholders without depending on anyone, saving days worth of effort that could have otherwise gone into achieving those insights earlier. That is the power of CloudWorx Studio. And that also explains why everybody wants to implement digital twins, but only 13% of them have been able to do it so far. After all, it's not an easy task to create a 3D replica of your factory and make it dynamic in real time. It takes specialized developers in 3D and IoT and a costly enterprise license, thus out of reach of many businesses. Hence, we combine the three core elements, no-code, IoT, and 3D, to create CloudWorx Studio. We give you the power to combine data from sensors, equipments, video feeds in an interactive 3D workspace using MQTT, HTTP, and other standard IoT protocols, built on which you can create 2D and 3D visualizations, workflows, charts, graphs, reports, and the UI and the look and feel of your entire application without writing any code in the whole process. And lastly, you can publish the application in one click and launch it in multiple platforms. Powered by a tech stack that is based on a US patent which is granted in 2019 and valid till 2035. Our solution is already deployed to make homes, buildings, factories, ports, terminals, utility centers, and cities more efficient. The digital twin market was valued at $6.75 billion in 2021 and is expected to grow to $96.49 billion by 2029 at a 40.6% growth rate. We follow a SaaS-based model of engagement with these enterprises through recurring SDK licenses and user licenses, along with certain customizations for 3D model that might be required time to time. We've been mostly active in the European markets through our channel partners and first level contacts, and we plan to expand to other B2D and B2C markets through these avenues. We're on track to generate an ARR of $250K for this fiscal, and based on our current pipeline, we're projecting an ARR of $2 million for the next year. The team comprises of engineers and developers who come from a gaming and IoT background. I've been a thought leader in the field of IoT and 3D for quite a few years, and I've also been featured in the Forbes 30 under 30 Asia edition. We're looking for channel partners, digitization consultants, system integrators, and other players who can help us win digital twin contracts. In exchange, we'll be paying them a revenue share or a one-time commission depending on the ticket size. Contact us on the details provided. We're looking forward to partner with you and expand our business horizons. Thank you.
Okay, we have Yuvraj with us to ask your burning questions. Jens, do you have a question?
Yeah, I love this solution. And I think that anyone who has grown up with SimCity or Farmville will expect this from their job when they come to a factory, because this is what you want to see. Now, can you also integrate into sort of, you look at the supply chain and the sales of a company so you can get a dashboard not only of the factory, but also the whole organization?
Yeah, we can definitely do that. So that's one of the basic elements that we have combined. So you can think of it this way: we can definitely build any of those dashboards. Our power is adding 3D capabilities to those dashboards.
Okay, thank you.
Nice solution. I just wanted to get, I saw it's running on the Microsoft platform. Are you already co-sell ready with Microsoft? That's my first question. Second is, when you look at the solution, can you centrally control a lot of IoT equipment like chillers, HVAC systems? So is that functionality already built in?
Yeah. So to answer the first part of the question, yes, we are bundled with Microsoft, and we're also a Microsoft channel partner with some of their B2B, part of the Azure Digital Twin framework as well. And for the second part, as long as we are getting the compatible IoT sensor, whichever HVAC sensor that you have that is controlling a chiller, as long as we're getting a compatible way to talk to it, we can integrate it and control it on the platform.
Next is Keyri, which is a Y Combinator startup from the USA offering a passwordless authentication platform to the BFSI leaders. And here we go.
Hello, my name is Grant, and I'm here to introduce Keyri, which is an authentication company that provides a simple and secure form of passwordless MFA. Our mission is to address the growing need for customer account security in a rapidly increasing digital financial environment. We're a team that has not only demonstrated long-standing thought leadership in the cybersecurity sector, but we also have firsthand experience building novel authentication products. Beyond that, we've surrounded ourselves with a deep bench of investors and advisors with diverse and helpful backgrounds. Ultimately, we believe our combined skill sets and experience are best suited to achieving our goal to improve the customer journey. Now, I think you can guess what the problem is. Passwords are the bane of our existence. Nobody here likes passwords. I think we can all agree on that. But I think it's important to quantify what that pain means for your users. Over half of users would abandon a service if the login experience was frustrating. And that's before even taking into account the prevalence of account takeovers. And that's with 4 out of every 5 breaches coming from stolen credentials, phishing, or misuse of passwords. For ideal MFA, we need uncompromised UX and security. Companies have tried to fix this issue by adding things like MFA from email magic links to hardware security keys, and the problem is these solutions just solve one half the problem, either ease of use or security. But as we looked at on the last slide, you need both sides to keep your users and to grow. And that's where Keyri comes in, delighting users on all devices by transforming every login into a one-step biometrics-based process. Users simply scan a QR code on your login page with their smartphone, pass biometrics in your mobile app, and they're logged in on your web app. Now, this next slide shows what your login page might look like with Keyri Auth. You can choose to go full passwordless, or you can simply add a QR code next to your existing login methods for a simple and secure experience, similar to what large enterprises like Citibank and SingPass have created. But for the first time, a company has productized this approach for you. Now, I think I've focused quite a bit on UX and simplicity, but underneath that is a unique privacy-preserving auth flow. Keyri leverages asymmetric cryptographic credentials to generate key pairs, with the private key being stored on the user's device and the public key being stored in a company's auth server. In between that key generation and transfer process is Keyri's API, which acts as an end-to-end encrypted relay layer for the authentication requests. You can think of us as your post office, passing API or credentials around from one place to the next. We like to think of this as simplicity for the user backed by complexity handled by Keyri. And one feature that we think is really huge is that Keyri never sees any user data, so attackers couldn't get anything from us, even if they tried. To add to that security layer, Keyri provides comprehensive risk signals that provide extreme anti-phishing protection. By leveraging our cryptographic key pair approach, we're able to help companies establish device fingerprints, device lineage, and precise audit trails. Our risk engine looks at a number of factors that are listed here, from checking to see if a device fingerprint is present, to comparing the IP address distance between the phone and browser, and then looking to see if users are leveraging known attacker IP addresses. We then work with each company individually to help determine what signals to allow, warn, and deny for, as shown on the right side of this page. And we've seen some strong traction as a result on our journey to date, with 300 plus self-serve customers currently leveraging Keyri and 5 active integrations in process, along with a deep pipeline of new opportunities. To streamline this whole process, we integrate with IAM providers and work with white label banking and crypto providers, as well as system integrators, so that integration can be completed in as little as a few days. Now, why do we have this traction? It's because Keyri benefits your entire organization. Let's look at an example bank with about 1 million users. Keyri helps the lives of the product, security, marketing, and customer support teams. First and foremost, Keyri can increase revenue by about 4% simply by reducing login friction and fraud while increasing app downloads significantly. Now, on the expense side, we can cut account takeovers by more than 80% while reducing call center volumes to put money back in your team's pockets. With Keyri, you can add a lot by adding so little. Delight your users, stop fraud, add a Keyri QR code to your login page today. Thank you.
So that was Grant from Keyri. We have Saif on the call to answer your questions in his EST time zone. Nagaraj, please go ahead. Make sure there is no echo from your side.
Thank you. Hey, thank you for the presentation. It was very impressive. So the question that I have is this the whole product that you have built? Does that use any third-party softwares or like, let's say, integration with HashiCorp and all, or is this completely your own?
Our solution is completely proprietary, built in-house. We do work with other IAM providers to leverage the identity database, but the authentication layer that we have is completely proprietary.
Yes, the first one is IP to protect your solution, and the second one is you mentioned about system integrators that are working with you, but I didn't see the major one in the chart showcasing clients and partners. Can you tell us where are you with the system integrators?
Lucas, sorry, would you mind repeating the first part of the question? There was a bit of an echo that I missed it.
Do you have IP to protect your solution?
We have a very sophisticated backend architecture, which we haven't gone and signed a patent for, but it is something we're looking into, but not yet. But it is robust enough that we're pretty unique in the marketplace compared to our competitors. And the second point is on system integrators, we're currently working with 3 different types of channel partners. One are the IAM providers. The second bucket is open banking players that provide digitization solutions. Our third goal is to go deeper with system integrators that are already helping enterprises onboard IAM solutions, which we can tag alongside. So that's an effort that is underway, but we're focusing on the first 2 a bit more at the given time.
Thanks.
We have a question from Vipin. Vipin, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Yes, Saif, this is, I think, coming from a banking background. It's very interesting. Question I have is, have you gone live with any company fully? And what is the transition process? How do you get 1 million customer to go into this new world?
Good question, Vipin. We are in final stages of going fully live with 2 crypto exchanges that are based in different parts of the world outside North America. And we have a number of other financial institutions that are currently doing a POC to test out their products with a few of their customers, perhaps A/B testing, if you would like to call it. And in terms of getting to 1 million customers or more, I think the market trends are headed in the right direction for us. QR codes have been adopted globally, especially in the APAC region. And I think that trend is shifting towards North of America. And that should really help us guide momentum in our business on the QR side. And we're one of the only companies who have productized the solution and can help enterprises achieve that goal today.
Thanks a lot, Seth. And I know there are more questions. I can see hands raised. Please use chat section to ask these questions and try to set a one-on-one with Seth and Grant. Now, I would like to move on to Libera, which is unlocking the power of retail consumer using Web 3.0 in Southeast Asia. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Max Ward, and it's my pleasure to introduce Libera to you today. Our mission is to liberate people around the world by unlocking the power of the data that they have at their fingertips. The problem we're solving is simply that the retail sector in the world's largest markets by population is primarily managed by pen and paper. Billions of people at the foundation of these supply chains have no way to share valuable information, which is needed to build profits for the brands and for the retailers themselves. The brands can't forecast demand, they make the wrong products, this creates too much lost sales, unsustainable waste, and there's also over $1 trillion trade finance gap from suppliers to merchants. Our solution is the first in the world to obtain sales data in these markets through the use of micro-incentives, predicting demand and increasing sales for all stakeholders in the supply chain, while empowering the micro-retailers themselves to have a sustainable, increasing monthly income through our unique share-to-earn dividend-based approach. We enable new mechanisms for data acquisition and also collaboration, which is a fantastic trend across all industries, but particularly impactful for the emerging market retail space. At the same time, we know that AI will impact every line item on the balance sheet, and retail consumption in Philippines and other emerging markets is absolutely skyrocketing post-COVID. We take a decentralized approach to obtaining this data, going straight down to the retailers themselves and the individual operators that work within them. With our recently launched first ever tokenized micro retail point of sale app running on Android, we have obtained government endorsement and support to democratically incentivize these retailers across the Philippines and other markets at unprecedented scale. Through the Libera distribution management system, we are already working with 300,000 stores in the Philippines to move product and drive increased traction with these brands through predictive analytics, while we implement our revolutionary point of sale software in the stores, which are currently being sold to, and obtain the very valuable data that everyone wants, but no one actually has: what is leaving the stores and going to consumers. Our current focus is the Philippines market, but we are eyeing Indonesia with immediate opportunities on deck, and also looking to expand into markets like Vietnam, Bangladesh, and other fast-growing demographics where the population is in excess of 100 million people and the same supply chain problems manifest. We're starting to work with a number of multinational brands, but most importantly have obtained the endorsement, not just of Gartner in the software space, but Philippines government at the local level as well as at the National Department of Trade and Industry level. They're helping us to roll out our products and solution to digitize the retail sector, helping voters and their population in these districts because of the positive social impact, how it helps the supply chain, but also because they need this data. There are other new players starting to target the micro retail point of sale space, but we look to outcompete them with better AI, use of Web3, and a multi-market approach, ultimately punching into the very valuable space of enterprise supply chain data management, where companies like Snowflake and Databricks have built valuations in the tens of billions of dollars in mature markets like the US. My career is in Asia supply chain with 7 years in entrepreneurship, holding really a decade of working with multinationals in the region. And we've put together the best possible team in the world for this venture, including some of the world's greatest minds in data science and AI, as well as local experts in supply chain and consumer goods distribution. Currently, we're focused on data acquisition and are raising capital to expand our solution to approximately 500,000 small retailers in the Philippines. Please contact me if you'd like to join us on this incredible journey of liberation and supply chain revolution. Thank you.
Questions for Max from Libera, Vivek?
Yeah, quick question from me. Who's your customer? Is it the Sari stores in Philippines, or is it the MNC who's selling the product? And secondly, what's your revenue model?
It's definitely both. I think there's almost $100 a month of revenue per store in terms of the data we have. And that's the primary revenue model, is really selling the data to the brands and others.
Okay.
All right, got it. Thanks.
If you have more questions for Libera or any other startup, please use the chat section. And next is Mojodomo, which is a Hong Kong-based startup doing some magic for BFSI leaders by providing a performance-based MarTech solution. And here we go.
Hi, I'm Dennis, founder of Mojodomo. Mojodomo is a fintech company that provides incentive marketing and customer engagement platform services. We enable marketers to better engage their customers with the customer behavioral data and transactional data accumulated from the incentive marketing campaigns. In the $300 billion incentive and loyalty marketing industry, up to 90% of paper vouchers are not being redeemed, wasting both paper and money, even though who redeemed it faced inconvenience and lack of choices. This problem no longer exists with Mojodomo. In our ecosystems, we are actively onboarding both marketers and merchants globally. Our clients range from MNCs such as bank, insurer, mall, government, NGO, education, to merchant in different categories, such as hospitality, F&B, wellness, digital platform, and many more. Mojodomo provides B2B2C customer engagement services via our digital voucher payment platform, bringing 3 key values to marketers for customer acquisitions and retention. First, instead of buying voucher in bulk from a single merchant, we enable marketers to issue their own brand voucher that can be redeemed at multiple merchants, among 300 brands in 900 cities in our rapid growing merchant network. That's extremely cost efficient and time saving. Second, prepayment is no longer a must. Marketer can pay only when the voucher are being redeemed. For 10 million marketing campaigns, marketer can easily save 5 million. Such huge saving can be recycled for more campaigns. So we can help you to run 4 campaigns with the cost of 1. Third, we provide invaluable customer behavioral data and campaign insight such as redemption rate and last mile data, who, when, what, where, to marketers and merchants, improving the campaign's conversion rate to sales. So how effective is Mojodomo loyalty marketing and customer engagement platform? We have the click rate of 70% of distributed voucher, 5 times average view per voucher before redemption, 90 seconds airtime with multiple merchant choices. We've made some tractions in Hong Kong despite the impact of COVID-19, and now we're expanding in Greater China and Southeast Asia. We're a team of passionate fintech and global expansion experts based in Asia and Europe. We've completed our Series A last year, 2021, for our Southeast Asia and North Asia expansion, and we are now preparing for Series B by 2023, next year, for global expansion. To conclude, we provide measurable marketing with zero wastage to marketers. We provide local or overseas reward choices for customers. We bring new sponsored customers to merchant. Because of Mojodomo, everybody wins. So let's cooperate if you are marketers or merchant. Many thanks.
Okay, do we have questions for Team Mojodomo? I see Danica. Danica, please go ahead.
Yeah, we do a little bit of work with
loyalty solutions, and one of the biggest problems that we always see in the space is around the relevance of offers to customers. So could you tell me more about how you achieve this hyper-personalization? How do you target relevant offers to customers that are actually interested in that product or service?
Hi, I'm Dennis. My colleagues, Keith in the call. Keith, would you like to answer the call? Answer the question, please.
Sure. Hi. So back to the question. So what we help the customer to do is to select the merchant that they want to cater to. So one voucher can be consisting of multiple merchants to select from. So if you're a marketer, you do not have to pre-select your merchants to give out the voucher. The voucher is dynamic enough to consist of returns point with multiple merchants. Hope that answered the question.
Yeah, could you give a use case example of that? So a marketer sends out a promotion by, you're saying, like text or email to a pool of potential customers, and then how do they? Are you saying there's multiple offers within?
Sure. So they receive we send the vouchers through multiple channels. So it could be emails, text messages, API link within the own marketer's app. When the consumer receive this link, they would see that there are multiple merchants on that voucher. So the marketer do not need to kind of pre-select a merchant for the consumer. It could, the merchant could have, let's say Starbucks, hotel chain, cat delivery, online e-commerce, everything on the voucher for the consumer to choose which merchant they want to redeem with.
Probably we can take one more question. Sophia, do you want to go ahead, please?
Yeah, I just wanted to understand that your vouchers, are they sort of Web3 compliant or sort of, on-chain token based, or is it really sort of a Web2 type voucher?
It's still a Web2 moving to Web3. In fact, we see ourselves as a bridge between the two. So if we are talking to some Web3 players who want to allow their users to redeem their digital assets or digital currency in a physical store, so that can be done through our network. We can also bring Web2 users to a Web3 environment to encourage them to migrate into Web3. But to be honest, we are not a full Web3 player right now, but we are on that journey.
Thank you.
Okay, fantastic. I think there are more questions, and please use Zoom's chat section for the questions. The next startup is B2Metric, which is a Turkey-based startup helping Fortune 500 organizations predicting and reducing customer churn using AI ML. And here we go.
Hi everyone, this is Murat. I am CEO of B2Metric.
Hi everyone, my name is Oz. I'm from B2Metric sales team.
Hi everyone, I'm Cansu from B2Metric marketing team.
B2Metric is an AI-powered customer journey predictive analytics solution for marketing and data teams of each company size. B2Metric predicts user behaviors in real time and optimizes marketing growth by understanding customers' next action on digital platforms and CRM systems.
In the market, there are several problems we face. The most common problems are low user retention rates. Actually, first 3 days, enough to lose 77% of your new users. Lack of understanding the customer behaviors, non-optimized marketing campaigns, and unsuccessful behavioral analytics, and of course many more. B2Metric provides a unifying layer of a platform that learns continuously and orchestrates the customer journeys. It has 3 steps. First, plug and play, connect your data seamlessly. Secondly, run no-code modeling pipeline, and last, watch real-time analytics. In addition, B2Metric is entirely GDPR and data privacy compliant and can run on-premises and cloud-based. So here it shows 360 degrees B2Metric customer journey predictive platform with ready-to-use plug-and-play AI models. Our AI-based recommendations increase the user retention rates by around 25% and boost incomes 20%. We work with many brands like Allianz, Turkish Telecom, MediaMarkt, MetLife, Zurich Insurance, Active Bank, and 40 more. B2Metric combines all data points from all these platforms into one dashboard, which saves 60% time and effort.
For instance, here you can see the example of banking customer churn prediction results dashboard. With B2Metric, we aim to increase user retention up to 25% with AI-based personalized campaigns to take marketing actions by monitoring users' behaviors and actions. We are working with Türk Telekom, one of the biggest telecom company brands in EMEA region. Türk Telekom has more than 60 million clients, and our AI-powered marketing optimization platform improves 4 times better product offer acceptance rates compared to the previous years. Allianz Mobile Labs uses B2Metric to increase customer experience and retention rates into the app up to 30%, and also increases cross-selling and upselling by 15%.
Regarding to looking at the market, marketing analytics product market size is expected to grow to nearly $7 billion in 2028.
Now, I'm gonna show you a demo video of our platform.
Regarding the business model, we have different subscription models, monthly and yearly based packages on your AI, ML, and customer journey analytics needs. In addition, we won awards for different projects in 16 competitions until now. We are a team of 25 B2Metricers. We are excited to automate your data-driven growth process with our augmented AI-powered customer analytics platforms and services. Thank you.
Okay, questions for B2Metric team. I see Luca. Luca, please go ahead.
Hey guys, congratulations. Who is selling your solution?
Who is selling our solution, right? This is the question. Yeah, we are SaaS-based platform. This is a self-service platform that your marketing team and data team can onboard easily with their SaaS service onboarding process. Nearby, we have a sales team. We are selling via the sales partnerships and also with our sales team, and also online sales, of course. We have an online and an offline marketing and sales process. But mainly sales partners, especially data analytics companies, consultancy companies, are sales our platform solution to their current clients, actually.
Okay, thanks.
Vinita, please go ahead.
Hi, I just want to understand the pricing model. You mentioned the 3 stacks, but what exactly is the pricing and how do you benchmark it against competitors?
Mm-hmm. When you are looking at B2Metric, we have 2 main products. One is B2Metric AutoML Studio, which is for data analytic teams. This is for one suite for AutoML pipeline solution, which is for especially customer journey, the customer analytic data analytic teams. It's for yearly licensing, and this is for SaaS-based platform, by the way. And these are solution for enterprises. And B2Metric IQ Analytics is for scale-ups and also digital platforms. And you can, this is purely SaaS-based, by the way. There's no on-prem solution for IQ Analytics. And it has 3 and 4 packages that you can start with starter package for free, full-time. Then you can switch on growth and enterprise packages. Comparing to the other customer journey solutions, we provide augmented AI and explainable AI solution for your data team as well. And especially for marketing team, we give one dashboard with AI-powered solution. You can connect all your data sources. So this is for marketing intelligence. Comparing to the product analytics and customer journeys, we are especially focused on marketing intelligence with predicting next best feature of your marketing budgets optimization. This is our main differences comparing to our competitors, especially telco and insurance and banking industries. Mainly campaign optimization solutions gives one solution, but we give it for marketing and data analytics, one suite for both personas. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Murat. We'll have to move on to the next presentation now. Please ask questions in the chat. Next is Arqgen, which is a Series B state startup serving 50 of world's Fortune 500 organizations with video intelligence platform. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Paul Sun, the CEO for Arqgen. Arqgen is an AI video analytics software company for the B2B marketplace. Arqgen is headquartered in Stamford, Connecticut, United States. Our mission is to become the leader in AI vision. The problem we're solving is currently there are over 1 billion security cameras deployed worldwide in cities, enterprises, corporations, schools, and many critical infrastructure locations. The majority of these cameras are not actively being monitored in real time. Arqgen has developed advanced AI vision analytics for the real-time detection and alerting of events. We provide customers with real-time actionable intelligence information using AI. Our software AI vision product is called Video. Video is composed of over 30 security and safety video analytics modules. The type of use cases include security-related applications of video search, person of interest, face search, vehicle license plate identification, face recognition, weapon detection, smoke and fire recognition. There are also many other types of safety applications, including person fall, wrong direction, and crowd detection analytics. Here are some examples of our customers' use cases. The Gillette Stadium, where the Patriots NFL football team plays in Foxborough, Massachusetts. The sports stadium uses many types of AI video analytics during the game days, including intrusion detection, video search functions for the security operations center, weapons detection, crowd detection, and people counting for the concession stands operation alerts. A second example is LE Bank in the US, where the bank deployed video search for security operations centers and uses many types of analytics for the real-time alerts. Detection include intrusion, face recognition, and also during the past few years of COVID pandemic, the bank deployed no face mask detection, social distancing, and body temperature measurement analytics using standard video cameras. The third example is at the Disney ESPN corporate headquarters, where AI video analytics are used for the intrusion detection of a very large corporate campus consisting of over 26 buildings on over 240,000 square meters. Arqgen has received many industry accolades, including from IDC, the leading marketing research firm, ranking Arqgen as a major player in the security analytics marketplace. Arqgen has also won the prestigious Top Security Industry Association Best New Product Awards over the past 3 years. Arqgen products are currently deployed in over 30 countries. Over 400 companies, cities, and governments uses our video AI solutions. Customers like Verizon, the leading 5G phone company in the US, ABB and General Electric Lighting, Volkswagen, a leading car manufacturer. Today, over 50 of the Fortune 500 companies have deployed our AI vision analytics solutions. Thank you.
So that was Paul Sun from Arqgen. Unfortunately, he could not join the call. So if you have any questions, please put them in chat. Use the poll button, and we will make sure that Paul is connecting with you via email to answer your questions. Expedient Azul, which is a Mexican startup doing automation of customer onboarding using for B2B lending organizations in Latin America. And here we go.
Hi, I'm Juan Carlos.
Hello, my name is Roberto.
We founded Expediente Azul, the only white label SaaS TechFin technology that helps financial institutions, completely specialized in helping out financial companies around the world to strengthen all their commercial process by digitalizing and automating all the onboarding and integration process. Our solution speeds up onboarding process, reduce prospect churning, enforce onboarding policies, and leverage executives to be twice as productive as if there was no technology around. We achieve all this by digitalizing all document gathering process, automating all follow-up required for your prospect to deliver all the necessary information, and interconnecting anti-fraud technology that streamline all the process needed in order to sell financial services around the world.
In one single screen, either in the computer or in the mobile phone's web browser, the customer can upload his documentation or take pictures of them from his mobile phone, see the status, and resolve any issues. Expediente Azul was built to leverage AWS or Azure cloud technology to be completely scalable, completely elastic, and handle any size of user workload. Our blazing fast implementation technology allows our customers to implement our technology in either current processes or to easily pilot new products. Our artificial intelligence technology helps managers predict commercial outcomes. And this way we are transforming any type of traditional financial institution into a fintech, creating this self-service portal, self-service technology for their own customers while keeping all the documentation secure.
In terms of the key results, we have actually speed up almost 3 times the loan processes in the countries where we operate. But more importantly, we have reduced customer abandonment by more than 2 times and given financial loan officers 5 times more productivity.
And we do all this with an extraordinary user experience. Our technology works in Spanish, English, and Portuguese, and we deliver our service to more than 100 financial institutions, real estate, insurance, corporate, and many others. We are currently present in Mexico, Colombia, Ecuador, Brazil, and some islands within the Caribbean.
This is the Expediente Azul team. The CTO, Roberto Ibarra, has experience scaling apps to millions of users. The co-founder, Juan Carlos Gonzalez, an expert in the large loan industry, and our Vice President of Engineering, Raúl Montaño. We have a perfect balance of teach and business skills. Our goal is to expand the Expediente Azul brand and introduce our company to financial and corporate directors who are showing pain in their document integration processes.
Our mission is that neither you nor your customer feel the pain of all the document and information gathering, receiving, and validating process. Let us help you. Contact us.
Okay, again, we'll have to take questions in chat section so that Juan and Roberto can revert back to you with the responses. And we'll have to go with the next presentation, which is mobile cards. Please mute yourself. It's a CRM membership and loyalty solution helping 500 plus F&B and retail organizations in Hong Kong and Taiwan. And here we go.
Greetings, everyone. This is Jeffrey from Mobile Cards. We are a SaaS company that build white label CRM solution for retail and F&B industry. Mobile Cards was founded in 2016 in Hong Kong. Since then, we've been building mobile loyalty applications for retail and F&B industry on a SaaS basis using our core CRM engine and loyalty application modules. We were able to help shops, even SME, build an enterprise-level loyalty app with an affordable cost and minimal IT knowledge. Think of us like the Shopify of loyalty solution. If you need to build your own e-commerce site, you can do it with Shopify. And if you need your own branded loyalty application, you can do it with us very easily. Here are some of our clients' references. So you can see they are from different sectors and have different look and feel. We provide our clients with a cloud backend portal to add and edit their contents, and with our interface template and loyalty modules, clients can set up their loyalty program very easily. With many different kinds of resets they can choose, meaning regardless of their size or sector, there is always a suitable plan for them. We believe CRM is a global topic, so we actively look to expand regionally. 3 years ago, we set up our Taiwan branch and proved what we were running in Hong Kong, it's also replicable in Taiwan. Looking at the two markets we had, we often face two types of competition. On one end, there are loyalty platforms that have a really low entry barrier and are easy to set up, which were traditionally preferred by small shops. And on the other end, traditionally, if you have the resources, the best practice was always to build your own individual loyalty applications via traditional app companies like what Starbucks and McDonald's were having. So each of the two ways, as you can see, has its own pros and cons. With mobile cards, you can build your own enterprise-level loyalty app similar to the ones being used by the big brands at an affordable cost and without needing to have any IT knowledge. We enabled SME to catch up with the best practice in loyalty and customer management. To give you a clearer picture, our basic plan consists of an affordable setup fee and a monthly service fee. The lead time for the app production can be as short as 1 week. From our experience, our standard plan covers the majority of the needs from SMEs, as illustrated by this chart. Of course, if you are a bigger company, you might want more. Therefore, with our add-on modules and customization capability, we are able to cater the needs of MNCs and listed companies. We can bring them from our basic plans to the very comprehensive true enterprise-level version gradually. So building such a picture from scratch in the conventional way, it's very painful. With mobile cards, you can instead start small with low investment and precisely pick what you need in the future and accurately invest on what can truly help you. This is why bigger clients also trust us. To put it simply, with mobile cards, you can start accumulating members very easily without a big investment. Then you will see an increased member repurchase. With more data, you can then do more targeted promotion. Once the member base has been gradually built up, every push promotion you do via the loyalty app will have increased reach, which means more conversion. For bigger companies, once the member base is really built up, they can think about how to fully utilize it, like having prepaid, referral, e-commerce, or even setting up new business units. In the long run, with the data collected, all the future decision-making can be more data-driven as well. Here are some of our milestones. We have been constantly growing in terms of client numbers, size, region, and also revenue. And looking forward, we are going to replicate the expansion we did in Taiwan to first Singapore and then other Southeast Asia countries. Here is our core team. Our co-founding teams consist of 3 people who have been working together since the very early stage, and we know very well what we are doing. To conclude, if you're a brand owner or a solution provider, let's talk and see how we can work together. Additionally, if you're in Singapore or other Southeast Asia countries or even other regions and think mobile card is suitable for your local market, feel free to reach out to us. We would also love to get some help on our regional expansion. Thank you very much.
Okay, do we have any questions for Jeffrey? Nagraj, please go ahead.
Hi, Jeffrey, thank you for the presentation. So the question that I have is, so when we talk about a lot of data, obviously you are also talking about some PII here because there are some payments involved. So how do you make sure the PCI DSS compliance and any security protocols or regulation policies are met within your product?
So because we mainly focusing on loyalty, we do not really do payment. We usually partner with other payment companies so that when they have their payment API, we actually prefer to just basically use third-party payment. In that way we can focus more on the loyalty side. Yeah.
Sure, thank you. We would be probably interested to be partner with you to see the regional expansion that you mentioned. Great, thank you.
Great, thanks.
That's always fantastic. Luca, please go ahead.
Hey, how long is your sales cycle?
Varies a lot. If you talk about small SME, it could be as quick as like 1 to 2 days. But then for companies that maybe have 10+ branch or even larger company, it can like 1 to 2 months, or the longest one we had could be like 2 years. But we try to keep it like on average, the bigger companies it's like 2 to 3 months. The small companies it's like 1 to 2 weeks. Small company it's like when you directly talk to the owner. Bigger companies it's when you talk to, let's say, marketing or IT department, and they have to kind of report upwards. So that's around roughly the sales cycle here.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Jeffrey, for answering the questions. Next is Promex, which is a digital marketplace for trading of carbon credits. And here we go.
Hello, my name is Marco, a co-founder of Promex.
Hello, my name is Guido Glovania, also a co-founder of Promex.
Promex is a digital marketplace to buy, sell, and manage voluntary carbon credits. On our platform, buyers and sellers will be able to interact and trade electronically on our central order book without any intermediaries. We deliver transparency, efficiency, and low costs to all our users. We are regulated by the Hong Kong government. Our team is deeply experienced in running regulated exchanges and markets. Our talented team is based in Hong Kong, India, and the UK. Let's take a look at the industry problems. First, carbon markets are too complex to understand by a lot of people. Prices and transactions are not transparent. Certain VCC are of poor quality. It's also difficult for an individual to access the carbon market. However, there is consumer demand to buy VCCs. Promex solves this problem. First, we operate a transparent and efficient regulated market. Our exchange technology is highly scalable and user-friendly, with robotic onboarding, transparent order book, and we also support global payment channels. We list high-quality carbon credits. Our inclusive market model is accessible by all verified corporates and individuals. Carbon markets is global and is growing real fast. The annual transaction value has grown 4 times year on year. It's forecast to grow 15x to 30x by 2030. Number of factors are driving the market growth. First, number of companies are using carbon credits to offset their carbon footprint. The rising carbon price trend is also attracting financial investors. There are more independent registries popping up, increasing the supply of VCCs. And of course, consumers are demanding more carbon neutral products. Over to you, Guido.
Voluntary carbon credit markets are in their infancy and predicted to grow rapidly. With our proprietary technology stack and lean cost structure, we can break into this market and be very competitive from the start. We can be faster, more agile, and focused on the users. When regulations emerge, we'll have a seat at the table, as we are already operating in this space and can carve out a favorable market position. It is now the exact right time to enter into this vertical. Through our personal network, we have garnered support from a handful of beta users, both buyers and sellers of carbon credits, to generate initial liquidity on our marketplace. Our technology platform is live and operational. We already have experience in launching innovative markets and secured commitment from business partners to access our carbon market. There's no market leader in this space yet, as it is still in its very early stages. We stand out as being regulated in Hong Kong, building trust with users, providing a low-cost transaction platform, and shaping our inclusive market model. Diversified sources of revenues let us earn attractive margins along the value chain of carbon trading. We are now building partnerships within the ESG ecosystem for user introductions to our marketplace. We will be launching trading in carbon credits in Q4 2022 and will list more carbon credits in Q2 2023 with focus in Asia and Europe.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Okay, I think Johit has a question for Promex. Johit, please go ahead.
Hi, my question relates to basically the system you have got there with carbon credits and or offsets and trading, the credibility of the system. I mean, how are you building that into it? And my second question relates to is there's a lot of regulation now in the market space on reporting, carbon reporting, and how you're going to capture sustainability business models and the outcomes. in your accounting processes. So is there avenue for that to be built in, or is it already in there that the reports can be generated and used? Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for that question. Let me answer the latter part first, okay? Because I mean, we work with the major ESG consultancy firm. I mean, they would be providing the ESG advisory work. Okay, our platform is purely for trading purposes. So if you are the seller or you are the buyer, you want to, trade your carbon credits stored in a particular registry, you can transfer your credits to our designated account, and then you can start trading. So if you are a buyer, and after buying your carbon credits, you can keep the carbon credits in our account. So, but if you want to transfer to another account for your own purpose, or you want to retire your carbon credits, we can do it for you. Okay, so, but in terms of this specialized ESG advisory work, we are not involved in that. We are very specific on providing a platform where people can transact carbon credits, which are right now not transparent. Okay, go back to your first question. How do we build our infrastructure and trading platform? Most of the applications are built in-house. So we have our own development team to develop most of the application. But for certain parts, we also use outsource certain applications to our technology partner as well. So, but most of the, because we know our customer users the best. So it's the best we build all the major applications ourselves.
Thank you, Mark. Okay, I think these were all the presentations, really high pace, high energy presentations, thanks to the startups, because they had to concise everything, the whole messaging in that 4-minute presentation. So great job by the startups. Now I would love to request our jury members on their feedback on 1 or 2 startups that stood out for them. And since Sanjay has listened to all the presentations, I would request, I would start with Sanjay Cole. Sanjay?
Quite a few that had good solutions, but obviously this was so brief, it's very difficult to get into details. But I think B2 metrics was something that I found very interesting, and definitely could have a follow-up chat with them.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, Sanjay. Who wants to go next? Let's see, Luca. Oh, yeah, Jens, please go ahead, Jens.
Yeah, I agree on B2 Matrix and also Keyri. And I'm a user of Keyri, like any Singaporean, so I know the value you provide and how you are radically changing the user experience. So head off to these guys.
Fantastic. And since you are part of Kindle, probably you can have deeper relationship with Keyri and B2 Metric later. Thanks a lot, Luca. Vivek, I see your hand. Please go ahead.
Yeah, for me, the 3 were probably biased by my FMCG experience: Libera, Mojodomo, and Iron Yun.
Okay,
fantastic.
You. Thank you. Jens?
Yes, I really loved the CloudWorx, and I like Promex. I think that they have a possibility also to help to validate carbon credits, because if you should go and watch John Oliver's show on YouTube from this Monday when he was talking about carbon credits. I could see a mix between CloudWorx and Promex, where you do see that your factory is now, using more energy than you should. You can go and buy some. And I also like Expediency Azul to leapfrog any company who's drowning in paper into the today or tomorrow.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, Jens. Nagaraj? Nagaraj? Okay, probably let's take Vipin.
Yeah, actually, firstly, I think Pankaj, this round I'm attending the 3rd of these. This was quite a number of good ones, and so it is quite hard for me to pick up the top 2. But if I have to pick, I think Keyri,
yeah,
Keyri, whatever you call it, I think is the password is a huge issue, and then Ironman Video AI. A lot of AI work generally on data, but on video, I think very good. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Hello?
Let's go to Shay.
Hey, hi. I think all the guys were pretty good and exciting company, but I would, from my perspective, three stood out for me. One was CloudWorx, Bitmatic, obviously fantastic. Would definitely like to see how we could collaborate with them. So and also Liberia. So these three were
Libera. Fantastic.
stand out for me.
Okay, Sophia.
Thanks,
Your
everyone. Yeah, I really like Keyri and CloudWorx. I mean, Keyri, I always think about, the movement towards Web3 on-chain token-based, because that's where we're headed. So, they're clearly solving a problem that everyone is looking for, a solution. Generally thought all the startups were fantastic. Just obviously keep focused on your key differentiators and consider, what are the barriers to entry and how are you developing your product relative to the market, because there's definitely a lot of overlaps, but I think all the teams are working out to differentiate themselves. So that's the one that I was probably most positive on.
Thanks a lot, Sophia. Nagaraj, let's try again, third time. Let's see if it works.
Hey, can you hear me, Pankaj, now?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for that. Hey, everyone. Thank you for all your presentations. They all were fantastic. They have their own unique offerings, I feel. The ones that stood out for me were actually few of them. In fact, Ivan Yoon. So I wanted to ask a question. He was not available. I contact him later. CloudWorx, of course, is something that we can see some synergies to work with. Expediente Azul is another thing that we want to actually diversify ourselves into and provide in terms of regional support for Expediente Azul and also mobile cards, right? So these are all something that I would like to work with personally, and it has a great learning for me as well. And thank you for having me here, Pankaj.
Amazing, Nagaraj. Johit.
Hi, thank you to everyone, all the presenters. That was really great presentations there, quite meaningful and valuable to what's happening in this industry. What stood out for me, especially coming from the manufacturing background and on a lot of sustainability issues, where CloudWorx, with its platform which is sitting either in the cloud or on the edge, trying to run a lot of applications, so a lot of industrial 4.0 coming into that, and IoT, and of course AI and ML. So that's quite a growing area. The other one was Promex, of course. I like that one as well in terms of what's going in that space generally globally, and some of the key requirements that are now demanded by regulation. So I think that's going to be quite an important area.
Fantastic, Johit. Thanks a lot. Rajesh.
Yeah, hi. Thanks a lot for everyone's presentation. Great, awesome. It's not easy to be here. Yeah, for me, as part of the ISV remit, my focus would be more on Promex because of their ESG initiative, and that was the only company which was actually presenting on ESG focus solution. Certainly, I would want to take a look at them. B2Metric, as well as Promex, B2Metric, and CloudWorx, of course. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot. Last feedback from Danica, and then we'll have to move on. Danica, please go ahead.
Yeah, lovely to see all presentations. The designer in the room, the best pitch deck, I have to say, today went to Libera. That was really beautiful. And I think the second place for storytelling goes to Expediente, just as some bonus prizes there for everyone. But I also really enjoyed Keyri and CloudWorx as well. I think some really strong use cases there, and always great to see those really obvious, digital first solutions being solved. Thanks, everyone.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, Danica. Thanks to everybody for joining in today. Special thanks to our jury members and keynote from Sanjay Cole. Really appreciate your time today. And this is not the end of this discussion. This is, I think, the beginning of this discussion. We need to keep reconnecting again and again to make sure we are able to figure out ways of collaborating together. And I think the goal for everybody is to see how we can help these startups going to the next level of their revenue or enterprise expansion or fundraising and so on and so forth. Again, thanks everybody for joining in today. Thanks to the startups for your time and for putting a lot of efforts into delivering these pitches, and we'll reconnect soon. Take care, stay safe, bye.
Thanks,
Thank
Pankaj.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Cheers.